What is going, everybody? Real Diversity here. We are back with another video, and we are trying Blastoise today. Currently, I've been trying to make Blast. I've always wanted. I'm not the biggest fan of Blue, or definitely not a fan of Gary, but I'm a bigger fan of Blue, from like the comic stories and the you guys ever seen that anime that they made a remastered version of like the red and blue games, and they had an animated version of that. I think it was all on, I want to say it was all on YouTube, maybe, or maybe not. But anyways, so I'm just a big fan of Blue, and Blue is one of like the only, in my opinion, cool characters. I don't know why they. I guess everyone would probably have Red if they could as a trainer face. But anyways, my if you've been on this channel long enough, my trainer face has always been, since he's been in the game, has been Blue. So yeah, just a big fan of Blue. So I always wanted to make a Blastoise deck. So this is my attempt at making a decent Blastoise deck with the current cards in the meta. I think I seen a video. I should have clicked. I never clicked on it, but I may look into it later to see how close their deck is to mine. But there was another video I seen a while ago, or seen at least on my YouTube feed, about somebody making a Blastoise deck, and I was thinking about, oh, should I have should I check that out? But anyways, I decided just today just to make my own Blastoise deck because I was just bored and I want to bring some new content. So anyways, here's the deck. Premise of the deck is really simple. Really, we have one. Oh, the biggest reason is someone just traded me this blue art, this nice trainer card. So I just got that card. So that's what really prompted me to make this deck, is because like I want to make a deck that uses the card blue. Why not make it a Blastoise deck? But also, funny enough though, this card should have targeted more to Blastoise. Maybe it should have been like this turn. Well, maybe that might have been broken, but it could have been a card. It could have been a card along the lines of like, let me essentially. It should have benefited Blastoise. Maybe give it just one extra energy, or this turn pretend like it has two extra energies on it. But that might have been broken, because then your second turn you could swing for technically 100. So maybe that would have been too broken or so. So I don't know. Or it could say whatever. No, what that would, it's got to be specific to Blastoise. It could have said whatever whatever condition needs to be met is met for this card to have its extra effect. So it should have just, maybe it could have just said something like that. But anyways, it just sucks that Blue is indirectly not, you know, and it's not even Blue. Blue would have been a great card if it was a solid counter to like Red, because Red does an extra 20 and Blue only does -10. So, but anyways, we hope with Blue, Blue, it may be have some use in this deck, especially since we're using baby Pokemon. So Pokemon that maybe swing for exactly 30, we can survive. Also Pokemon that swing like Chingling may have to take an extra turn to knock us out, something like that. So anyways, this is the deck, and we got a heavy helmet in here. Pretty much this deck is just built to get going and start rolling as soon as we can possibly can. Blastoise is tanky enough where he should be able to pretty much come in, and hopefully, here's the thing that my opponent's most likely going to always have to do, except the meta does do a lot of bench damage. But one thing our opponent most likely is going to have to do is set up some type of setup to knock out Blastoise. But again, 180. What does the negative to this deck is this is an EX deck, so unlike let's say unlike what is older decks, mega decks, this deck, we once, like, if we lose a basic, Blastoise is a win condition, so we don't really have an advantage since we're running so many babies of like, okay, if Blastoise gets knocked out, we have a second Blastoise. With how many babies we're running in this deck, once them knocked out, Blastoise is the win condition, so we have to be pretty much just set up one and just hope everything goes perfect. So enough talking here, let's just jump straight into it. Again, and we're not gonna play ranked. Where are we currently at ranked? I think still top. Okay, top 2,000. And so starting tomorrow, I will grind the rest of this weekend to see how far we can push into see if we can get a top 1,000. That would be awesome. Oh, this ain't ranked, right? Darn. Was this ranked? No. This was random, right? Pretty sure I went back and went to random. I surely hope so. Anyways, yeah. Let's see what we got. Okay, yeah, this is an Ultra Ball player, so no. Not ranked. Okay, solid start here. Would have loved to see. And here, even when you don't get the best starts like this, I said starts. When you don't get the best start, still really good to lead into Chingling. Because see, if we get like Licia next turn, we can always sub straight into we can sub into Manakee. So we're really solid here as well. Okay, and there's Manakee, like I said. So this is a nice setup to just go ahead and get going. This deck isn't. We're going against. We don't really need Chingling for anything here. Metal is a stage 1. So yeah. So even if he gets, he can just evolve. He just goes straight into Metal. Well, we could have stopped that Pokeball, but again, right now we're not concerned about a lot of that stuff. Arceus, interesting. How much energy do you throw onto somebody else? 100. Yeah. So again, no point in evolving here. We do have the condition to evolve. No point in doing that though. Finish Pokemon. And you have to be cautious here because Manta Key is it can only attach energy to a basic, so that's what makes this a little bit tricky. And that's why you don't often see baby Pokemon with stage 2s because of the fact. So this is almost a perfect start here. What I'm imagining he's gonna do is set up his Arceus. That really won't matter too much. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't even go for Arceus. Okay, interesting. So we're guaranteed a knockout here. He has 4 cards. So we just straight up rare candy, copycat. Yep. So couldn't ask for a better start here. Again, and we won't. What we won't do is we won't waste time. Playing any other basics or anything like that. So not gonna, because they become win conditions if we do. So 160. So we just knocked Dialga here. Arceus also gets knocked here as well. And even if it does, I think we tank 2 hits from him. Because we're taking 20 less this turn. Then we also have blue here. So if we use blue. Oh, never mind. I forgot. He didn't even put the energy on Dialga. So yeah, this match. One thing, I think we were initially running Cyrus in his deck, but I was like, it almost is no time you ever get to use Cyrus. Okay, I've seen Melmetal. A lot of Melmetal decks have been like showing up recently. Rocky Helmet makes this troublesome, but I don't think so. Darn. What's interesting here, I think we should obviously just blue. How much? Wait, let me reach your thing. Oh, just 50 more? 30, golly. 50 more? That's not good. All right. I'm glad I read that. And then plus we take the Rocky Helmet damage. I'm going to need to stall another turn. And hopefully we get Lily. And what I would love to see here is we could start setting up another Blastoise. Funny enough, yeah, okay. Oh wait, retreating curse. Oh no. Why did I do that? Retreating is very costly. Darn. Let me do this. Oh, our opponent might have left. Darn that, and he set up almost perfectly. Wait, this Pokemon does extra 50 damage. Unfortunate there. I didn't even think about that. 80. Even with this, we're still. If only we had Lily, that would have guaranteed. But even then, would Lily have been enough? Lily would have put us at back at 180, back at full health, minus the Rocky helmet. So he would have been doing 70, or he would have been doing. We would have been at 170. He would have done 150. It's a lot here. Okay, after that, I think we lucked up there. I think we was gonna lose that match. Unfortunately, yeah, Male Metal, not a good deck we want to run into because this deck once it sets up, it's kind of like we want to be a tank. So we want to set up. That's why we're only running one heavy helmet because it's no point in playing double heavy helmet. Because really that was one of those rare games where we could have gotten into a second Blastoise, but the retreat is so much for Blastoise. It's like you really don't want to waste the time to retreat. So. And with that being said, that opens the door now in my mind of when we get Blastoise up, do we just maybe take some time to start setting up the second one? If we just doing 100, because if you think about 100, 100 twice is surely enough. I think it's situational. I think it's very situational. Of course. Oh, we do get May. We go second, right? Into what? Let me just play Manakee. Again, this is why we love May. Oh, does our opponent just leaves? All right. Oh, let me make sure. Again, this is not ranked real quick. Let me double check that. Yeah, I can tell already by the matches they're the same rank. We would have ran into like 3 Suicune decks already. Okay. And you find opponents very quick. It takes a little bit of time on rank sometimes, cause but that's good for me because a lot of times the high players get to a good position and try not to play anymore. So the best players kind of just get to a safe spot. Um, I have no admiration to get to. Okay, very strong hand here. If only thing that would have been better is an early copycat. But research is just as good. Drifloon into this 20 next turn is tactics. Okay, that's fine. An early Blastoise. I feel no reason not to play Chingling here. Especially if like a Sabrina comes, but I'm gonna play it safe here and not give him another piece. But this would have been smart to play in case he Sabrinas us or repels us, something like that. Next turn, 6 damage. Okay. Oh, he doesn't even. What is this deck? Does he have the wrong energy on here? I'm gonna set up one more turn, and after that, I'm just gonna attack with Chingling and just. Well, we do no damage, but maybe we can stop whatever he's trying to do. He's running water energy though. Oh, I see. I see. I see. Wait, what? How did he do 80? 20 more damage? Oh, he has. Oh, okay. I'm okay with that because if we get copycat next turn, we can copy that hand. Hopefully, he doesn't play anything threatening here. Another cape. 3. Didn't want him to get down to 3 cards. Hopefully, that's it. And he goes down to 2. So, copycat here is not going to be useful numbers wise. So, was really hoping so. But if we get research or we just top deck our rare candy, that would be great. We took. I was running War Turtle at one point, but I said War Turtle has no, like, it takes up too much space in this deck. And of course, we do get the copycat. It's our only play. I was really hoping he kept a big hand. Um, and yeah, of course, so unfortunate there that we could not get into what we needed. That's the issue with this deck, and that's what that we have so many cards for consistency. Copycat is one of those cards that is very good into certain decks. Like Copycat is very good right now into the current like top meta because the top meta runs a lot of Suicune. Suicune's drawing every turn, so most of the time they're ending their turn with maybe 4 cards. They Suicune a 5th card. So like Suicune decks are not very, I would imagine, happy about a card like Copycat because they benefit so much off of the main purpose of that Suicune deck, which is to draw quickly. So if they research and then Suicune like their turn 1 or something like that, like they are already a massive hand that you can just copy once you've set up. So Copycat is a very, very interesting card. But we've been fortunate enough to get, the good thing is though, is we've been fortunate enough to get into like Manakee. We've been fortunate enough, so I'm gonna lead here with research and see if we can just pull something else to give us a better chance of getting Squirtles. No luck there, but do we just look up? No, and we don't look up. That's fine though. We did get something more useful. Double Manakee would have sucked here, but with Chingling here, at least we can prevent him from start. We can item lock him here, so maybe that's more beneficial here. I thought about potentially doing double Chingling and 1 Manakee, because I think that's more beneficial than anything, and he copycats us. So yeah, unfortunate we couldn't do nothing with this big hand. Don't really want to see these cards early, and that's why we run May for this exact reason. I think there's evolution stage 1, right? Okay, we finally see Squirtle now, but not too late. Yeah, let me do this. This way, this sets us up next turn to at least be able to get a knockout or something, for sure. If he can't evolve next turn, I don't know what their evolution is though. Okay, they just evolve right into it. Interesting. And what do you do? Whoa. Um. All right, let's do this the old-fashioned way. Let's force him out. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Darn! But a misplay. The rock. I lost my freaking. There it is. Came back to us. That was. It's alright. Not gonna complain. Does he get a knockout here? I don't wanna. I wanna potentially try to set up our second Chingling. You know, this is fine. Let's do this. I think he comes in. What's interesting though, do we stall for another turn? Because we can, for sure. We can set up 2 Blastoise. But the funny thing here is the way he operates. If this player has your opponent's expert is knocked out. But if he gets what he wants, we lose anyway. If both of them are hit. I know he's gonna run a wheel in this deck. That's what's interesting. He's running. He's gonna run a wheel for sure. Oh, 60. I think he's gonna come in and attack with that next turn. Do we start trying to set up our second Blastoise here? I think so. We have the card. Why not? Why not? You know what sucks here? If he evolves, I'm trying to see what I wonder what he does here. Here's the funny thing. If he gets into a second, like the thing is, okay. Then this still comes down to luck though. So I would take my chances here. This this match may have been all for naught, you know? Because if he's gonna run wheel, of course. He flips only 2 coins. They both have to be heads though, so what he I guess he could have waited, but again, it's fine. So what this all comes down to is really, does he not have his will yet, I wonder? That doesn't matter. I don't know why he just did that. Darn. This is why I should have left Squirtle. No, no, it's fine. Because we sub here. What are we at energy-wise? We're back at 2. This is a pro play move here. Gonna take the risk here. If he cause what he's gonna have to do, I don't know how many. He's probably running double wheel, right? Don't know if he's waiting to get both wheels, but this card only gets a knock, so he's gonna have to waste time with He's gonna what is this a bot? I don't even know what's going on anymore. All right, that's checkmate then. And actually to secure my checkmate, let me do this. Let's go ahead and get a knock here. So no matter what he brings in next turn, is getting knocked out. He doesn't. If he Sabrina's us, and even then, that would suck. If he Sabrina's us, we can throw this other Manta Key out. So I don't know what he was stalling for, but it just has. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't think we was item locking him out of anything, so I don't know what he was waiting on. Sabrina here doesn't matter. Nothing matters. We took no damage, so. And he didn't even will here. Just double tails. Unfortunate. So I don't know what that was about, but I had to make a business move there. And we do get to use blue for fun. Good deal. Good deal, good deal. Not that we necessarily ever need to run Cyrus, because you almost doesn't seem like you ever get that into that situation. But what I will say is the reason I think Cyrus is needed in this deck is strictly because I've won so many, like Cyrus is the win condition 8 out of 10 times in a match. 8 out of 10 games in high level play, your winning card is usually gonna be Cyrus because something that needs to hide is able to hide. With Cyrus, nothing that wants, you can't hide anything. So that is why that card is so strong right now. And we'll hop into one more by finish explaining that. But Cyrus is a card that will win you games, guaranteed. So having it, I can see myself winning. Now when, I don't know. But the biggest thing is Suicune deck. Suicune with a Greninja EX can just keep subbing out. We don't knock even at full power, we don't knock Greninja EX with one hit. It takes two, so that can be tricky. We haven't run to the situation where we led. Okay, we do get Lisa here. Okay, that's good. I think what's the Pokemon's name that runs off this? Serena, right? So we do get Lisa here, which is interesting. And we're not gonna play them just yet, and I'll tell you why. Cause we want a May next turn. Actually, we only need one May. We only need one May, so let me see. We could have copycat there too, but I actually like this hand. I like this hand a lot. This is actually the reason these cards are in this deck. Lisa is here specifically so that we can pull these out early. Look how thin our deck is. Already at 12 cards here. If he copycats, I won't be too happy here. This deck does run, I think, something like Serena, I would imagine. Yeah, of course, any deck now that's using some mid stage or something like that is going to copycat. So he might have had Pokeballs in his hand, whatever. Uh, Whatever it is, he can't do nothing this turn. Leaf Cape, that's fine. Not a big fan of my hand getting used though. Nowadays, I try to keep my hand as small as possible for that exact reason. But you can't help it every time. So if I see something good here, cross my fingers we see Blastoids. I mean, we don't see Blastoise, we see Squirtle. Okay. We do see exactly who I wanted to see. And let's stay on top of Chingling in here. It's because I want to copycat his hand next turn. It may be beneficial to wait. Interesting for the coin. No. That's fine. All right, good deal. Well, we can go into that this turn. Let's just use this extra turn to build some more energy. And yeah. Cause yeah, we could have, yeah, we don't even get a knock anyway there, so it's totally fine here. If he doesn't, I don't know what Skitty's here for. If he doesn't evolve with Skitty here, okay, there's the rare. I knew he had a rare candy. I figured his hand was so big for him not to flip 3 coins. Split damage for each hit. There's no way he has Sabrina, right? Okay, good. Let's say, does Sabrina come out here? We're blue here. How many times you actually get to use blue that actually may have some value here? Um, I think research might have been better there because getting Lily is important here. I think Lily over that -10 here. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. Whoa, what card is that? Oh, what the? Wait, why isn't this more meta then? And what do you do again? What's it? Oh my god, I forgot. Oh my god. Well, we know one thing. I mean, bad luck here. He's already doing 50, 100. All right, we're fine then. We ate that up. We ate 100 up. 70 looks nice on us. And then we just swing here. So the sooner we see Lily, the better. Because then Lily guarantees I for sure survive another hit. Oh, wait. Do we survive another? We survive another 100 if he gets the full off. No. We're not as bulky as those metal decks, but we do way more damage than those decks, and we also just do still tank up quite a bit here. You know, one thing though, I should, yeah, and I guess he never got another basic. One thing I should do, I think, with this deck, one thing I would maybe I think of doing maybe with this deck is maybe taking out, um, maybe taking out something and adding Lily. I think if you just go all in on Blastoise here, maybe Chingling. Maybe if we just go all in, Manakee said if we can just get to like, 3 energies, which is very easy to do. If long as we can just get 3 energies, Blastoise set up, and some lilies, I really don't know. Like this deck, I don't think is super meta, but I think like the one issue with all of the stage twos is consistency. This deck, if you think about it, it hits harder than Mega Blaziken. But you need tremendously more energy. But I think the biggest benefit here is, and when you make a deck, you should always have what do I want? Like, what is the perfect thing for? Like, what exactly do I want this deck to do every time? And you want to make that as consistent as possible. So you have one strategy, whatever it is, and you want to make that one strategy as consistent as possible. And that's why I'm not the biggest fan of like the decks that need a supporter card to like that deck we just seen, or the Drifloom deck. Those decks need a supporter card to do its one job. Now that's not always a bad thing. Like the Garchomp, not EX Garchomp, like Cynthia is like acts as a red, but you almost need Cynthia every time to just get knockouts on EXs, right? So, um, but with this deck, I think the biggest thing is just to get set up. Like you just want to get set up, start rolling, and just make sure you don't take too much damage. So I think another version is maybe take out Chingling. But the reason Chingling is good is when you're having a bad time, and you make your opponents having a bad time as well. Because if your opponent gets set up and you're still looking for your supporter cards, all that, yeah, that can be troublesome. So I think this deck is refined already nicely, but I would say if you added another Lily, that may put this deck where it needs to be in terms of just long as you just see Blastoise and you get at least him to 3 energies, nothing's taking 200s, like nothing except like Mega Ampharos, but yeah, but nothing is gonna take 100. Like I've learned that from Greninja, played enough Greninja to know that nothing's pretty much eating that. In this deck, you just need to set up one EX, one stage two. Those decks you gotta set up this, set up that. You just gotta set up one EX here, and he should be able to hold. Now let me think again. Like you go ahead and blue before you take any damage. That's -10. You heal up with Lily. You -20 with the heavy helmet on. You can tank 3 hits for sure, and long as you start attacking, and here's all you need to do to win every game. Get to 100, be the first one to attack, or get like, first one to attack their EX, or if it's a, and that's why you run Cyrus, because if it's a mega, you can knock out their mega in 2 turns, and that's this game. But be the first to go ahead and knock out something, and then they have to come in. Even if they come in with Mega Altaria, whatever, Blaziken. Well, Blaziken might be our Achilles heel. Unfortunately, funny enough, you would think we play well into Blaziken. The issue though with Blaziken is that Blaziken, I think, does so much damage. We would have to essentially make sure we're not burnt twice. And let me think, do we still survive? 140. Oh, actually, yeah. With everything set up, let's say blue. So we're doing minus 30. So he's only doing 90 before the burn. With the burn, he's doing 110. What does that pit us at? 110. We're at 170. With a Lily, do we survive another? 70, 60, 130. So no, actually we don't even tank two. Oh, forgot again, the helmet. The helmet again. Okay, let me start my math over. Okay, let me track this so you guys can all track the math. All right, so Blaziken's 180 HP, full HP. He has a heavy helmet on. Let's just say blue. Let's just, for this sans blue. We may not need blue here, but let's just for this instance, let's say we use blue turn 1. So after he does his 90 damage and we're burned for 1 turn, that's 110 damage. 110 damage from 180. That leaves us at 70 HP. Now, if we Lily there, that puts us back up to 130 HP. With the helmet on again, and he attacks, he's only doing 100 plus the burn. So we survive. The only issue is we have to have blue before he attacks first. And then we also have to not be burnt the second turn. And we beat Mega Blaze again. But my friends, if you can Chingling long enough, and maybe force him to just, if you get Chingling out, he should lead potentially Blaziken, before, maybe he tries to gun down your Blastoise before you get it set up. But if you lead Chingling, you may have a chance to avoid him altogether, getting into Blaziken. So anyways, this long-winded talk about this deck, but this deck was fun. I think you guys give it a try if you're into Blaziken. But yeah, this is my video of the week where we're not playing meta or playing ranked, but we'll be back on ranked this whole weekend, playing a bunch of matches, trying to see if we can get top 10,000. So if you guys did enjoy this, man, please leave a thumbs up, like, and comment, and don't forget to subscribe, especially if this is not your first time hearing my voice. Real Diversity, man. We're out. Peace.